The world isn't always a kind place. Some truths are so disturbing that they shake our faith in humanity. Here are 5 dark truths that will make you lose faith in humanity. 5. Fast fashion's environmental and human cost. Fast fashion might give us affordable, trendy clothes, but the real cost is staggering. And it's not just about money. In countries like Bangladesh and India, the people making these clothes are paid shockingly low wages and work in unsafe conditions. Long hours are the norm, and child labor is far too common. And that's just the human side of the problem. The environmental side isn't any better. Fast fashion pumps out mountains of cheap clothing, most of which gets tossed in landfills or burned. Those discarded clothes release harmful chemicals, while the production process pollutes rivers, soils, and the air we breathe. It's a system built on exploitation of people, resources, and the planet, all to keep up with our endless appetite for the latest trends. 4. The child miners in the DRC. Cobalt has been called the new blood diamond. It's a highly valuable mineral that powers the lithium batteries in everything from phones to laptops to electric cars. Most of the world's cobalt, over 70%, comes from the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and it's no secret how it's mined. Children as young as 6 are sent to these dangerous mines, where they risk fatal accidents every single day. The conditions are horrifying. The children have no safety gear, no protection, and dig by hand in toxic, unstable pits that collapse without warning. And here's the worst part. As the world shifts to renewable energy to fight climate change, the demand, not to mention the price, for cobalt has skyrocketed. Even though it's more valuable than ever, the people mining it are still being exploited, and there's nothing they can do about it. 3. The conversion therapy industry. Imagine being told that a core part of who you are needs to be fixed. That's the reality for hundreds of thousands of LGBTQ youth who are subjected to conversion therapy every year. Despite being widely discredited, this practice, ranging from psychological abuse to methods as extreme as electroshock therapy, still happens in far too many places around the world. A recent study published in JAMA Pediatrics revealed just how devastating the so-called therapy really is. Beyond the $650 million spent annually on conversion therapy in the U.S., the associated harms like substance abuse, depression, anxiety, and even suicide attempts cost the country an additional $8.58 billion each year. That's $9.23 billion in human suffering wrapped in a cruel facade of help. And the personal toll is immeasurable. Survivors report lasting trauma, mental health struggles, and a sense of betrayal that cuts deep. For most, the damage lasts a lifetime. 2. Big Pharma prioritizes profits. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the world's 20 biggest pharmaceutical companies handed out over $1 million to shareholders and executives every 5 minutes. Think about that, every 5 minutes. In fact, some companies spent more on dividends and buybacks than on research. Over 3 years, Big Pharma made $455 billion in profits, with vaccine makers like Moderna and BioNTech pulling in profit margins of over 50%. And while the industry doubled its earnings, many low-income countries struggled to access life-saving vaccines because the companies refused to share medical technology. According to them, giving up control of patents would hurt innovation, a claim that's been called a political myth by experts like former UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon. The numbers don't lie. This isn't about innovation. It's about keeping a monopoly and making as much money as possible. From overpriced insulin to withheld vaccine patents, Big Pharma keeps proving one thing. When profits come first, people always come second. 1. China's cancer villages. In China, some villages have seen so many cancer cases that they've been given the heartbreaking name cancer villages. By 2017, at least 462 of these villages were identified across 226 counties, most of them clustered near major rivers like the Yangtze. The connection is undeniable. Industrial pollution. Factories release heavy metals and toxic chemicals, including PFAS or forever chemicals that don't break down in the environment. These toxins contaminate the water and soil, leading to higher cancer rates and devastating entire communities. The government was initially slow to acknowledge the existence of these cancer villages. And while awareness has grown, the pollution continues, with efforts focused on reducing it rather than stopping it entirely. It's hard to believe these grim realities, yet they are true. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments and follow us for more facts.